What's this? A Roblox event that isn't some sponsored garbage or a concert that has boring prizes? Now that's worthy of a Scouthex review.
It's been a year and a half since the last real Roblox event, not counting the 𝗧𝗏𝗺𝗀𝗀𝗃 or 𝗧𝗏𝗃, and I must say, it is so refreshing to have a normal Roblox event. Well, actually, I'm lying. 𝗬𝗏𝗺𝗃 Battles isn't like a typical Roblox event, as it is one of the biggest events of each year. If this event happened in 2018, it'd still stand out, but why is that the case? 𝗬𝗏𝗺𝗃 Battles is an event that also doubles as a tournament of 16 different YouTubers fighting in 14 different Roblox games, with one of the games being a custom-made game. But wait, 𝗬𝗏𝗺𝗃 Battles is also an event where there are 12 different objectives for one prize, 3 extra objectives for 3 other prizes, and 1 finale, plus a few other extras. So, what will I be talking about in this review? Well, since this is an event review, and since this review will be talked about from the perspective of a player, not a YouTuber in the tournament, developer, or tournament critic, I will talk about all the playable content made for the players. This means that I will not be focusing on anything related to the YouTube series about 𝗬𝗃𝗺𝗃 Battles, and I will only mention it a few times when necessary. Got it? Okay, glad we're on the same page now. So, what were we talking about again? Oh right, the 𝗬𝗃𝗺𝗃 Battles Championship Season 3 event.
Yeah, stop rambling. Let's just talk about the dang event. This is getting a little absurd now.
There is a lot of content to go over when talking about 𝗬𝗃𝗺𝗃 Battles. Like I mentioned before, there are so many different objectives and prizes to cover, not even including the 𝗬𝗃 Battles Hub. Interestingly enough, though, this event had a live event before the main event even came out, and I think it deserves its own section to talk about. So, let's do that. Before the event started, a live concert was announced for the beginning of the event. Now me and many others were quite confused about this. A concert about 𝗬𝗃𝗺𝗃 Battles? But there's only one 𝗬𝗃𝗺𝗃 Battles related song. I guess we could stretch the definition and include the Roblox 𝗬𝗃𝗺𝗃 Battles songs from last year, but that still doesn't make much sense. Although we got our answer on December 3rd, when the concert finally happened. But it was slightly different from your usual concert.
Champions.
Bro,
I'll do it.
Of course it was gonna happen.
I knew it! I knew
no,
it!
Really loud. No one's getting confused.
Wait, we can then don't say it.
What the heck is that?
What?
What the frick is that?
Wow, the ratings must have been crazy for this concert. This concert was probably on mainstream news or something. Huh. It actually was. That's interesting.
So it turns out the concert was a setup for us going to the new lobby and the whole plot for this event. So after fighting some robots that just regenerate before you can even get half their health off, Sabrina decides to run off to the ship and everyone follows suit. We then take off and 𝗬𝗃𝗺𝗃 Battles turns into Among Us for 2 days, like the Fortnite Chapter 1 ending. You now basically can't play the game. I mean, you can do some boring tasks for champion coins, but why? This was definitely an interesting beginning to an event. I am glad that the event started in some way rather than it just randomly popping up one day. I think this will definitely make the event more memorable. And the animation for the concert was really good. They knocked it out of the park and even used new technology to make the animations realistic. That's admirable.
After 2 days of the Among Us ship, we finally land in the new lobby. Right there. Where the event truly begins.
So cool, new lobby, new season, that's awesome and all, but what do we do now? Well, we can get some prizes right off the bat in just the 𝗬𝗃𝗺𝗃 Battles lobby. The first prize you could obtain was the battle beam. To get it, you just had to click a button. What an interactive objective! There were also 2 other prizes which you could only technically get later on, but you needed to do a part of the objective at the start of the event. To get the 𝗬𝗃𝗺𝗃 chain, you need to guess at least 50% of the winners correctly for each episode in the YouTube competition. And to get the 𝗬𝗃 crystal ball, you needed to guess the winner for the 𝗬𝗃 Battles YouTube competition.
Bruh, they're literally advertising gambling to little kids again. Roblox is really good at this. Maybe they should get like a gambling company to sponsor them.
That's about it from the 𝗬𝗃 Battles Hub, however, for now. Yes, you could play some pretty fun minigames, explore the map, and buy pets or whatever, but we're reviewing the 𝗬𝗃 Battles event here, not the game. So I guess we should start talking about the 3 main objectives of this season, shall we? If you don't know what I'm talking about the 3 bits, or instruments, or also known as the Russo's Robot Resonator, Sabrina's Cyber Shedder, and the DJ's Dynamic Dasher. There are also golden versions of these items, but we will get back to that in just a moment. Let's firstly talk about the Russo's Robot Resonator, as that was the first instrument to be found out of the three. This instrument, which I will refer to as the blue bit for the rest of this section, was found in Super Golf, of all games. To get the blue bit, you needed to firstly go to this specific map, aka Oasis, go to this specific golf course, aka number 18, and then hit this specific tree, aka, I don't know, the random palm tree that's next to spawn. Basically, this objective revolved around going through random maps at a random hole and doing a random task until eventually you got the badge. Some objectives include scoring a hole-in-one, launching yourself to a crystal, and doing a secret golf course and launching yourself to a cave to do another secret golf course. Overall, this objective was alright, but I feel like that's mostly because it's the shortest bit objective out of all of them. After you get any of the bits, you need to go back to the RB Battles hub, go to this tunnel and type in a code that translates into passcode. Then, do a short obstacle course and hand your bit to Mr. 𝗏𝗺𝗀𝗀𝗀𝗀, who in this case will turn it into the Russo's Robot Resonator.
Hey, wait a minute. Isn't this the guy who gave us that one quiz in the RB Battle Season 2 finale last season? What the heck is he doing here again?
I guess I forgot to mention that he's kind of a part of the story. Well, now you know. Anyway, moving swiftly along to the purple bit. This bit was located in Shopping Wars, and wow, this one generated a lot of controversy. Basically, you needed to do oddly specific tasks and maps again. Once you completed the two oddly specific tasks, a key will spawn in the center of the Candy Kingdom map, and you need to go to this door in order to get a key sword. You have to then go to the Bloxpart map, slash the door with a giant key sword, and then defeat Bob. Epic boss fight. I like where the objective is coming from, and I do like the thought put into this objective, but wow, is it buggy. Shopping Wars had the buggiest bit objective out of the three objectives. Actually, it was the only game where I experienced any bugs. It was clear that the quality assurance for this objective wasn't all that great. Despite that, however, I still had some fun with the objective, although these candy machines will give me nightmares for the rest of my life. And last, but certainly not least, the green bit. The green bit was located in Build-A-Boat for Treasure. Again! To get the green bit in Build-A-Boat, you needed to go to a waterfall, click some books, do a fun boss fight, and wait, this sounds oddly familiar. Oh wait, that's because this is nearly the same objective as last season. I mean, to give them some credit, there was an extra minigame added in between the boss fight and book section, and you also needed to get 2 extra badges from other RB Battles games in order to get it, but come on. I feel like they should have given a different game a chance, a game like Jailbreak or Arsenal or even Piggy again. This objective was good, but it was really unoriginal and felt uninspired, honestly. Even the 2 extra badges you needed to get were more creative.
And well, those were the 3 instruments in RB Battle. Overall, they were pretty fun to look forward to and to complete, but hey, wait a minute, I think I'm forgetting something important here. What could it be?
Well, let me introduce you to the most useless feature of this event, the golden versions of each instrument. If you were one of the extremely lucky and early 10,000 people who got one of the bits early, you would get a golden version of the bit you got. But you see, the thing is, that idea sounds bad on paper and is bad in execution. Wow, isn't that surprising? Not only were 2 out of 3 bits just found by cheating or being leaked, but also most of the bits were found at really inconvenient times for like 90% of the Earth's population. So if you're a completionist, well, I'm sorry, pal. I feel like a better approach to this golden bit idea would be to either scrap them entirely or to make it like Ready Player One, where you could get the better version of the same item by doing a harder version of it. So say they made the Shopping Wars boss somehow function and made it really difficult, and if you managed to complete the boss before it got nerfed, you got the golden version. In my opinion, this makes the golden bits a lot more fun, valuable, and causes a lot less arguments to break out about virtual Roblox items. Anyway, I'm done ranting. I think we should talk about the other main prize of this event. I'm of course talking about the Winner's Wings 2.0. To get the Winner's Wings, you needed to complete a variety of objectives in the 12 games to get some badges. Now, if you remember the Metaverse Champions review, that's all I'll be talking about the badges. If you don't remember, then Piggy was the first game to be featured in RB Battles and actually had one of my favorite objectives. To get the badge, you needed to complete the new RB Battles map. However, this map worked much differently than the normal Piggy game. There were these power-ups and 2 different subsections and even puzzles scattered throughout. I really like how it incorporated a competitive aspect to the badge. It makes it feel like you're actually one of the battlers in RB Battles. 8.5 out of 10. This was alright, I guess. You had to complete an obby and then the RB Battle song except FNF. To me, this objective was way too easy and I wish there was a harder version of it. I feel like Robeats did a rhythm game objective better last season. 6 out of 10. Welcome to 𝗏𝗺𝗲𝗀𝗀 Shopping Wars. Anyway, you needed to complete the new game mode in order to get the badge. It was quite alright, and I do like the competitive aspect, however, the bugs really ruined this section, a bit more than I'd like to admit. 5.5 out of 10. I know this technically isn't a part of the actual event, but I am going to include it because I made the rules. This was a terrible objective and I had literally no fun with it. This objective took me the longest out of all of them because this maze is insanely confusing. It's already in a hard to find spot and there's like 20 different entrances too. It's just frustrating and weird. 3 out of 10. Okay, this one wasn't as bad. In fact, I'd say it was pretty good. You needed to complete the brand new map made just for the event, and I've got to say it is so much better than the Metaverse Champions objective. I think this objective got me a lot more hooked on the game, and it does actually give a good introduction to Super Golf. 9 out of 10. Complete the easiest obby ever that has nothing to do with the wacky wizards. 4 out of 10. Gather 3 halos and then complete the tower. This objective was really lazy and quite boring, but I was like 3rd in the world to get it, so that's cool. 5 out of 10. Complete the new shooting range game mode in under 90 seconds. Now, I'm not a new Arsenal player, but I would assume that this is also a great way to introduce new players to FPS games, and it was quite a fun time to complete this objective. I liked it a lot. 7 out of 10. I was dreading playing this game at first, but after actually completing the objective, I've got to say this is probably my favorite badge. To get it, you needed to complete the new 𝗧𝗶𝗺𝗀𝗀𝗀𝗀 course by hitting 25 switches hidden throughout the map. I think this is also a good introduction to the game. I've never played this game before, but now I can see why people play it. 9 out of 10. My favorite game to compete with my friends in, Adopt Me. What do they even compete for? Who has the most rare, legendary, ultra, mega rainbow poop fart dragon? Whatever, it's none of my business, since all you needed to do was to touch 3 crystals and then climb this tower. No, it's not a JTO reference, shut up Jimmy. 4 out of 10. Press a few buttons and then reset your character. I guess it's alright, but I didn't have much fun on it. 4 out of 10. Also, this is once again the same objective as the one they used last season. Nice! Beat the 𝗬𝗏𝗄𝗏 Battles obby inside the 𝗬𝗏𝗏 Battles building. There was also a racetrack to get to the 𝗬𝗏𝗏 Battles building, which I had a lot more fun doing. I'm not gonna lie, this was way too easy and way too boring. 4 out of 10. Climb 5,200 meters up Mount Everest and reach Camp 3.
Am I there yet?
So it's basically a play the game normally objective. Personally, I would have made it so you needed to only get to Camp 2, or making a whole new camp in between Camp 2 and Camp 3 instead. 4 out of 10. Once you got at least 9 out of the 12 badges, not including the Bloxburg one, you could go to the 𝗬𝗏𝗏 Battles Hub and claim your Winter Wings 2.0 for free. If you decided to be a completionist and go for every badge, then you can get an egg. No, not an egg on egg, just like a pet egg or something. I don't know. So, that's 𝗬𝗏𝗏 Battle Season 3, but wait, we still need to talk about one more thing. No, it's not the prizes, not the pros and cons, or the conclusion. Not yet. We still need to talk about the 𝗬𝗏𝗏 Battle Season 3 finale. So let us commence to that. Well, the finale. Unfortunately, this finale kept getting delayed and delayed and delayed. The finale was originally meant to come out on December 30th, but it ended up coming out on January 28th, a whole 4 weeks later than intended. I don't mind the delays though, it just gives me extra time to make this video and get it out first to get that clout. Before you step foot into the finale, you have to prepare. You need to have the winner's rings and all 3 bits. Once you have all 3 bits, you need to activate them by doing complicated tasks. To activate Russo's Resonator, you firstly needed to redeem the Twitter code "In the Hood I Lie". You will then receive the 𝗬𝗏𝗏𝗏 Secret Spray. After equipping the spray, you needed to go to a secret piano room and use your spray in order to reveal some secret stands. You then needed to collect 8 puzzle pieces scattered throughout the map and then place them all on a stand in this specific order. Then, play the piano in another specific order, and you will activate your Resonator. To activate the Cyber Shredder, you needed to place all the puzzle pieces into the spawn points. Then a key will spawn on top of this pillar, which you will then need to use to unlock another secret room. You will then need to play 3 chords in a specific order, and after doing that, you will activate your Shredder. And to activate DJ's Dasher, you needed to use your activated Cyber Shredder to break open these boarded doors. You then needed to play a paradiddle on the drums twice, and that will activate your Dasher. Although we are not done yet. You then need to input a secret code that will activate the subway. Afterward, you needed to equip Russo's costume in the costume shop. And now, lastly, go to this button hidden on the side of a building, activate it, run to the champion shop, verify Russo's fingerprint in the robot machine thing, and use the robot to punch a boxer punch machine to get the secret power pack. Now, after charging it a little bit, You have to go to this specific door in the outer city and charge your secret power pack with the help of this machine. And now you can activate the subway and start the official final battle. Now I know I rambled on about the instrument activation, but I won't talk about the final battle as much. Why? Because it's so damn long! This final battle took me 7 hours to complete, which didn't take as long as Season 2's final battle, but maybe it's because I cured my skill issue. I'm going to go over some of the noteworthy parts of this final battle, and I'm going to start off with the worst one, these stupid camera things. Repost to scare an 𝗬𝗍𝗺𝗀𝗀 player.
When I install security cameras in the future in my home or workplace, I will get PTSD and collapse to the ground, waiting for the cameras to get into a good position because they're so laggy and desync!
I think the worst part about the security camera section is that you had to go back and forth 5 times. Why?
Because it isn't an 𝗬𝗍𝗺𝗀𝗀's finale with a stupidly hard section that's only hard because it's buggy!
But, okay, the next section that we get to explore is the facility, and there's this neat little Portal 2 puzzle that you need to do. I thought that this section was alright, but it felt like it dragged on. There were just so many steps to doing this. You had to get like 20 of these mini robot thingies and guide them through the entire map so you could activate one button. Oh, and what do you know? Now I need to get 2 more little robot thingies because there are even more buttons you need to press with them, and it's just It was creative, but dragged out. Then we had the mini games. You know, I actually thought that it was cool that they referenced the 𝗬𝗍𝗺𝗀𝗀 Season 2 final battle, and it was quite fun to play through. I am very glad that they added a checkpoint to this section though, because the lava escape minigame requires a lot of trial and error, and also the inclusion of a new minigame by the name of 𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗀𝗃 was also welcome. And the last section that's noteworthy in my opinion was the final boss fight against JP. Now this part was interesting to say the least. I like how it doesn't function as a typical boss fight for the most part, as instead of attacking him every once in a while, you need to platform your way to a robot and then punch him to death, and then play this other section that... Wait, this looks oddly familiar. Meh, must be a coincidence. But overall, I thought that this boss fight was fun. I just think that the whole platforming section was tedious because of how unnecessarily long it is. Like, do I really need to travel my grandparents' school route just to get to the halfway point of the robot? But anyway, after defeating JP in an epic duel where he literally spams one attack, you will then have to idly wait for 30 seconds for a cutscene to play that will teleport you to the coolest ever ending segment that I've ever seen. I really like how it references every single game we've played throughout our entire journey, and it's a nice ending to the event. And well, once you wake up in the ship and talk to J-Party, you can go claim your well-earned Crown of Courage. Or if you're one of the first 30, then you can go claim your well-earned Hood of Heroes. Or if you're one of the first 10,000, then you get the Golden Crown of Courage. Yeah, woohoo! I'm not gonna lie, I think this image perfectly encapsulates my feelings when doing like 80% of this final battle.
I didn't think it was bad, but I wasn't really enjoying myself while doing it. It's one of those things where when you look back on it, you're like, oh yeah, that was pretty fun and cool. But while you were doing it, you were more like, this is horrible!
So, that's 𝗬𝗍𝗺𝗀𝗀 Season 3, although we're not fully done yet. We still have to take a look at the prizes, as that makes an event an event.
At least partly, but I think Roblox took this phrase to heart, unfortunately.
There were 16 different prizes you could obtain from this event. However, some of these items are reskins, and some of them are only obtainable for a small group of people. But let's not waste any more time and take a look at the prizes. The battle beam looks alright. I like the design and I like that it's on your waist. It makes the item more unique and I feel like it fits better there anyway. The chain looks nice and I personally prefer this over the crystal ball. The colors blend together well, however, I wonder what RBB stands for. Roblox Battles? The crystal ball is probably my least favorite prize in the event. It doesn't really look good on any avatar and looks more like it would fit as a gear rather than an accessory. Although it's still not terrible, it has a somewhat nice design. The instruments in my opinion are less interesting than the swords from last year. The resonator is alright looking, but I wouldn't wear it personally. Same with the dasher, it just looks bland. I feel like if more colors were added to the dasher and resonator, they would stand out more and might look nicer than some boring tech. The only instrument that I liked the design of was the Cyber Shredder. I liked that it resembled an actual instrument and the design is quite chic. The winner's wings are fine. I do think they are better than last season's wings though. I like the little outlines around the edges and I also like the colors used. The mix of white and dark gray looks awesome. The Crown of Courage looks amazing. I like the gradient and color scheme, and the white also looks nice, although I think a dark version of the crown might be a little better. Also, I might be a little biased because I can wear it without changing my avatar. Oh yeah, this exists. It's okay, I guess. I don't have too much to say other than I prefer the popcorn item from last season over this. Now for the more exclusive items. The golden versions of the instruments in my opinion look better than the normal versions. This is what I meant by adding more colors to the instruments. I like the contemporary and elegance of these golden versions, and it just makes them look so much nicer. Although the golden crown of courage doesn't look as nice. I mean, it's alright, but again, I feel like a dark design would look better. Otherwise, that's fine. Okay, I can't lie, the Hood of Heroes is kind of ugly. The Hood of Champions looks cool because it's dark, and wow, I've noticed a trend of me liking dark prizes. I have no idea why that's the case. There were also 2 more prizes made for for the winner of the RB Battles tournament and the fan favorite, but I mean, only one person in the world has them, so I'm just gonna ignore them like how most of my viewers ignore my non-J-To No Damage episodes. Saltiness aside, let's recap the RB Battles event and pick out its strengths and flaws. This event had a vast amount of content that I both liked and disliked, but I think it would be better to start off with what I liked as opposed to what I disliked. The live event for RB Battles was amazing and one of the most fun experiences I've had with friends. I loved watching the concert play out, and I liked that they decided to try something new. I really like the RB Battles hub. The building, the minigames, the voting panel, everything about this hub is such a big upgrade from Season 2, and I'm all for it. The prizes look amazing and unique. I love the color scheme, and I love the creativity. I enjoyed doing most of the Winner's Wings 2.0 objectives. I know that it gave some of them a low rating, but I had to stay objective for the review. The final battle was an epic experience and was so much better than last year. I enjoyed playing through it, and the ending cutscene for it was amazing. The plot for this event was alright. I liked the inclusion of a plot to begin with, and it was fun to see it unfold and conclude in the final battle. Pretty cool. This might be a bit too minute of a detail, but the badges look so nice. This one's also a bit off topic, but the YouTube series was also fun to watch, and it was an entertaining show. And well, the section that I enjoy talking about less, the cons. This event does have quite a few issues, so let's go over them, shall we? My god, were the bugs in this event annoying. The Shopping Wars objective felt like it wasn't tested at all, and the final battle constantly had annoying bugs that ruined the experience. The bid objectives weren't that fun to do because of how ridiculous they were. Ah yes, let me do this one specific task in this one specific map at this specific time. The final battle felt like it dragged on at some parts and was definitely too long. In fact, it's probably triple the length of the final battle from last year. Also, like I mentioned earlier, the bugs. The golden bits. I feel like they could have made them so much more interesting, but instead they're just who exploits the game with the bit first. It's annoying. Some of the Winner's Wings objectives were quite boring and unoriginal, especially Mount Everest roleplay and Tower of Hell. The delays were infuriating to say the least. I mean, they delayed the final battle by a whole month? Wow. And those are all the pros and cons of the RB Battles event. Yay! So in conclusion, RB Battle Season 3 was a Roblox event that featured 14 games, including a custom hub. It had so many different objectives and so many different prizes that it would be hard to keep up for any newcomer who just started playing the event. The event had a lot of ups and downs, but it was still, in my opinion, one of the greatest events we've had in modern times. It's not squeaky clean like some of the previous events we've gotten, but I think it deserves a place in the book of legendary and most respected Roblox events. And that is why I believe that this event deserves an 8.5 out of 10. I thought that it had great gameplay and games, however, there were some times when I didn't enjoy myself. The event is pretty unique, even for an event that follows the same format as its predecessor. I thought that the prizes were amazing and honestly deserved the max amount of points. The game choices were alright, and the building in the hub looked great. And well, let's just say I'm a little salty about Shopping Wars and the final battle bugs. Whoops.
Well, hey, that's RB Battles Season 3 for ya. I should probably start speedrunning the editing process for this video so I can release this video before the event is irrelevant. Well, anyway, remember everyone, stay in school, don't do drugs, and never sacrifice your sleep for a silly little Roblox event. I'll see you in the next one. What's up, my J-To No Damage enthusiasts?